How's the horses? Enjoying them? So this here would have all been the race course. Laura, what's your thoughts on the DEMONANTS? Laura! Hello and welcome everyone to this DEMONANTS video, a demolition remnants video of the Williamstown Racecourse. It is a commentary video because the original audio was so wind destroyed that I just deleted it. So you'll be listening to my wonderful voice. So we're here at the Williamstown Racecourse and there's a shot of it burning down in 1947. This place was once a humongous racecourse. Phar trotted its wonderful hooves here. Back in the day, it was like a full massive racecourse. You wouldn't even know now. It just looks like a massive paddock. But, you know, this was Flemington level. This was Caulfield level back in the day. So we're going to be checking out the DEMONANTS. The racecourse opened in 1873 and closed in 1940 when the army took it over and turned it into an army training centre. When World War II ended, it closed in 1945. And then it was planned to open up again, but it was burnt down mysteriously in 1947. The building sat abandoned for a while. Bab even urbexed it as a kid until all the hulking burnt down structures were later demolished. I'm not 100% sure when that happened, but you can see the DEMONANTS here. I'm not 100% sure any of these pads, these concrete pads, like what these buildings were used for. So if anyone knows, let me know. I'm gathering this one might have been a stable. No clue. Really no clue, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of history here. The only real DEMONANTS I can tell is the actual grandstand, which we'll be seeing later. But you can see that heft, man. We've got like girders. This place was a big place back in the day. It's technically in Altona, but it is the Williamstown Racecourse. So this is all a park now. The council has turned it into an amazing the Altona Coastal Park. Yeah, so here's a shot of the DEMONANTS of the grandstand sort of precinct that we're coming in now. I'm wondering if this used to be the base of like a bar, like a really cool sort of square bar. No clue. But where we are now would have been sort of subterranean in the bowels of the grandstand, and you can see that's all that really remains, just sort of the front sort of steps of the grandstand. You can see it would have been really a strong place, all made out of concrete. Look at this massive girder here, still going strong, sort of, for what it's worth. Here we got Bab. He's having an excellent time reliving childhood memories of checking out the abandoned grandstand. So yeah, pretty interesting place. Yeah, you can see it's just demolished. It's just been sort of crispy for a long time. It used to be anyone could just drive in here. There was illegally dumped rubbish. There was burnt out car bodies. But the council's really cleaned it up. They've turned it into a park, and as you can see, there's a wonderful bike path there now. So it's really good. They've made it not dingy and embarrassing, and an actual asset to the community and a piece of history. So I think it's really worth documenting. So yeah, you can see the steps. Imagine the amount of people that have walked up and down these steps. Now I've walked up and down these steps, so I'm also a part of history. And so are you, because you watched me walking up and down steps on the internet. Now I'm thinking here, this is where the chairs would have been mounted. Not too sure, I can just see bolt sort of remnants, so wondering if chairs were there, not 100% sure. It's really hard to deduce much from what's left. It's all pretty much gone. So unless you kind of knew what you were looking at, just kind of a big pile of rubble. It just makes you think, I wonder if one day the MCG and Flemington and all that stuff will be deduced to piles of rubble like this. And you can see here, Bab's looking at the sort of the basing of the foundation, bits of bricks. And here's a sign, Williamstown Racecourse, established 1870s, you know, yada yada yada. So that was written on there, it's documented. So that was pretty cool. And now I think we are whipping, it's me and Laura having fun, whipping our way over to these other DEMONANTS. I have no clue what this building was at all. Absolutely no clue. But these bricks here were made by Glen Bricks. I mean, that's mildly notable, I guess, because that's all I can do. We thought it might have been a toilet block, and these little concrete things might have been where pipes went into the floor to drain the sewage, but we're not 100% sure. But what I reckon is where Bab is standing right now was probably definitely a shower, because there's like a little drain here. And you can see, look, another girder. This place would have been a meaty place. You can see the remains of a little drain down there for the shower. So yeah, some type of ablutions block or something. I have no clue. Absolutely no clue, to be honest with you. So yeah, possible toilet pipes, but they're really close together, so like it would have been rather intimate, so I could be completely wrong. You can see all the little fragments of broken glass here, just the build up, I guess, of everyone just having slurp juices and just yeeting the bottles over heaps of years. That pane of glass might have been the actual pane from the windows back in the day, no clue. Now we're kind of traversing these other random DEMONANTS to what looks like the remains of a go-kart track. Like, I don't know. I have no clue what this is for, because I didn't think they had go-karts back in like the 30s. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, we've got like a little go-kart track sort of thing here, and we've got a directional arrow. If anyone knows why there's like a little track here, please do pray tell, because I have no clue. I find it very interesting, and you can actually like totally race this now. Like if you came on like a dirt bike, it'd be kind of cool. Bring a whippersnipper. I'd recommend bringing a whippersnipper. And there's the finish line poles are still there. Pretty awesome. Now we're nipping through the plant-based forestation, small DEMONANTS here, weed welded shut pit thing, coming over to the Croy Creek, and you can see it looks amazing. It looks luscious right there, cool and refreshing on a January 2017 day. Here is the remains of the perimeter fence. This racecourse used to flood a lot, and it actually had a special fence which could drain the water out without damaging the fence, because that's how much it flooded. So that's an interesting fact. Here's Bab talking about the mangroves. They're pretty awesome to see. Bab found this really cool brick. I think it's from Western Australia or something. It's somewhere really far away, don't quote me on that. But Bab admittedly did steal it, but you know what, it's had a good home. It's now used as a doorstop, it's been cleaned up, and it is loved to pieces. So, bit of a grab there. Now we're just sort of looking around the coastalness of the park. Now we're back on the go-kart track. I'm just going to call it that because I don't know what it is. Pretty awesome. Kind of reminds me of like Point Cook and that sort of stuff. Yeah, just sort of trundling around. He was very excited about this brick. But yeah, it's really old, I think. I think it's from like the 1800s, that brick. Like, it's really old. I mean, do some research. I have no clue what I'm talking about. That palm tree was part of the racecourse too, and that's sort of the only non-indigenous plant left, so that's definitely a DEMONANT. And here's Bab passing the finish line. Look at him. He's a winner, you can tell. Just look at him. And here we are, just boys on deck, just walking along some random like marking remnants there on the floor, and I'm just shooping around the corner. And now we're going to make our way to the bike path, which runs around the race course. So here we are, Laura just traversing her wonderful flowing dress. Here's an interesting sign, Esso Australia. I didn't even know we had Esso, or did we have Esso? I don't know. Here is a comming just gracefully making its way across the parched Australian landscape. Look at it, a thing of beauty, a thing of rail gunsicular beauty. Here's Laura just feeling it, just feeling the gunselness. Here is sort of, this would have been the racecourse. Like, just imagine horses, people, that sort of stuff. And then you don't need to imagine this, you can see dog poo that people are just thrown under a tree because they think that's acceptable. And here is Laura rescuing a stick insect that would have gotten run over by someone. What a trooper. At least someone's caring for the environment out here, popping it in a tree where it belongs. Another majestic comming, sweeping. And here's Bab, about to cause another pandemic. It's not from bats, it's from fish, and it was Bab's fault. He loves touching dead animals. I don't know why. This pipe was cool. It was enameled. I'm like, why? The Pines Scout Camp. The Pine Scout Camp. There is a scout camp down here. It's not abandoned. It's interesting because it's sort of just in Altona, which is like a suburb. But I suppose when this was built, it was a little bit more rural. But yeah, nice scout camp. I love the gate. The gate is so sort of 60s-ish. Like, it is so classic, and it's so crispy as well. It's a thing of beauty. And look at that knobbishness. That knobbishness is just proof. Scout camp, pines, blah blah blah, epic. Look at this Chad fungus. Like, that's a fungus. That is next level. And there was also these really pointy, pokey thingies around. There were heaps of these things. I don't know what they're for, but I don't know. There seems to be a lot of these around in the west for some reason. Also, these weird chimney things. We found this little chimney thing. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we're near factories, and maybe it's a part of like factories. You can see it goes well with the other chimneys in the background. Not too sure what that's for. It has a spooky face on it. There's a wonderful white-faced heron there. The racecourse used to actually have a little footbridge that went over the Koroit Creek. That's obviously long gone. There is the flame of the mobile refinery as we enter our way into the DEMONANTS of the Williamstown Racecourse railway station, which opened in 1888. It was electrified in 1920 and finally abandoned in 1950. And you can see all that really remains is the bases of these electric stanchion pole things, and to this day, nothing remains, as far as I know, because Koroit Creek, since the time of filming this video back in 2017, that Koroit Creek Road has had a level crossing removal, and there's a huge bridge there now, and I think all of the DEMONANTS of this station is completely gone. And you can see even this shot of a train. That's why I kept this shot intact here, unedited, just to document, because that doesn't look like that anymore. It would be descending, making its way down off a big bridge now, because there's a humongous bridge there. So yeah, it's just coming past the old Williamstown Racecourse railway station. I was looking very closely because Bab had actually spotted train service earlier off camera. Couldn't see any more train service. There was some Eshays mid-car riding. Anyway, sort of the DEMONANTS view of the former train station here. As far as I know, there's nothing left. So I'm really glad that I filmed it, even though there's not much left. Now we're making our way back, and Bab's up to his old tricks. Found some old meat, of course. He's touching it! Oh my yeah! Okay, I'm so sick of him. I am so sick of you, Bab. Stop touching disgusting stuff. It's seriously getting disgusting now. Oh. Stop touching it!
It's like a bird's gizzards.
I get your point, but it's just gross, Bab.
Sound out in the comment section, folks.
And with that, I will say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this interesting stroll around the DEMONANTS of the Williamstown Racecourse. If you liked it, tell a friend, show a friend, and believe in yourself. And without further ado, Griffin Rail intro audio for no reason.
11th of January 2021. Me go to the Cabramatta station. Film with boys. Go home.
Dairy.